Welcome one and welcome all to the MAC. Chase McNutt joining you live for pregame action as McAlester Lady Buffalo Volleyball is playing host to the Glenpool Warriors here for what technically is senior night, although our very first broadcast of the year here for volleyball, they held it for senior night for opening night. Wanted to kind of dedicate the season to the seniors, give them something to look forward to going into the season. So not celebrating the senior night activities tonight, but it is the last home game here for the Lady Buffaloes. Also the last regular season game for them as well. Once again, Chase McNutt joining you, my man downtown Nate Brown, as always on camera, working that broadcast perfectly. It's why you're able to watch and hear me right now on the YouTube live stream on our McAlester Radio YouTube page. Time is about 4 minutes, just under that, until the start of this one. A bit of an earlier start than what we're used to. I do think we're going to get a 7 o'clock start here for the Lady Buffaloes. They're trying to make it 2 wins in a row. For the Lady Buffs, they've won 2 of their last 3. The last time we were with you was right here at the MAC, was when they took on top 15th ranked Edison Prep. They won 3-2. That one went the entire distance. Since then, though, 2 matches in a row, McAlester has not gone farther than 3 sets. They were swept by OK, a 3A school, but that is a top 3 team in Class 3A. They fell 3-0. And then they beat Tishomingo, another 3A team that was back on the 30th, so a week ago, and they beat them 3-0. And now McAlester taking on a Glenpool team who really doesn't have a lot to play for this evening. For Glenpool, they already have their regional assignment. They're going to be at Cascia Hall. Cascia Hall is the number 1 seed in that regional. For Glenpool, I believe they are the 3 seed there. They're also in with Ulaga-Talala and Locust Grove, and those will be on Saturday. For McAlester, they don't know their regional assignment yet. It will be next Monday, though, that regional tournament. We'll find out, I would assume, later on in this week, probably after they finish up their regular season here this evening. For the Lady Buffaloes, they can't finish the regular season with a 500 record. Right now they are 16-18, but they can throw a couple together, win some regional matches. They will finish over 500 as they stand currently at 16-18, are also coached by head coach Chris Burns. On the Glenpool side, 14-16. They've lost 2 matches in a row. They've also lost 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7. So McAlester might be catching a team that's not playing their best brand of ball right now. Could be good for the Lady Buffaloes as we head into the regional setup this weekend, at least for Glenpool, and then McAlester next Monday. Want to say our broadcast is brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment, Sam Wappler's Freedom Ford, and Consignment Exchange. Shout out to them, as this will more than likely be our last softball/volleyball broadcast. They've been the reason we've been able to bring you all of these, whether that be on the radio side or as every game we've done on the YouTube side as well. About a minute and a half until we get the starting lineups for both sides and the national anthem. What we're going to do is go ahead and take our first break, but we'll be right back with the action right here from the MAC for the final volleyball home game of the season for the Lady Buffaloes. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching McAlester Lady Buff Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to the MAC after that short commercial break. Once again, we are being brought to you by, this broadcast is being brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment, Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, and Consignment Exchange. Now that we are done with the pregame festivities, we are just about ready to send it down courtside as we are going to get the starting lineups for both sides and also the national anthem. Now, we had some issues down at the PA table, weren't able to get the national anthem for a couple of games, and then it was the Pledge of Allegiance, but they had it figured out last time we were here, which was just over, I believe, a week ago when they took on Edison. More specifically, that was back on the 24th, so a little bit over a week ago, about 2 weeks ago to the day. And now for the Lady Buffaloes, trying to replicate what happened the last time we were here. Maybe not as close, but either way, you come out with a win. It's hard to complain about that. Some projected starters, I could say you're more than likely going to see Jalen Moscato, Elena Christie, Ellie Bass. Also going to see Logan Bradish, Maddie Harvey. Just kind of an assortment of those, along with Hannah Harrison as well. Just a couple of names that have become household for the team this year. Kylie Glover in that as well. But as I say that, the PA announcer started talking, so I'm going to go ahead and send it down to the court for the rest of the pregame festivities, and then we'll get you started.
www.McAlesterathletics.org. The Oklahoma Secondary School Athletic Association and the McAlester Public Schools promote good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Spectators are asked to support tonight's game by refraining from derogatory comments or behavior. We ask you to support the competitors, the coaches, and the officials in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Remember, whether you are on the court or in the stands, be a good sport. Fans, would you please stand? Gentlemen, would you remove your hats? We're playing our national anthem. Before we play our anthem, we're going to recognize a moment of silence so that you may reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in another silent activity. We ask that you be respectful to others around you during this moment of silence. If you're a brave person, would you lift a prayer for our fellow citizens who have suffered and still are suffering from Hurricane Helene? Thank you. And now our national anthem. And now your starting lineups. For the Glenpool Warriors, number 1, Cameron Brown. Number 3, China Wells. Number 4, Tyler McKinney. Number 5, Jalen Adolph. Number 15, Peyton Head. And number 16, Kate Timmerman. Ladies, Muscato. Number 2, Elena Christie. Number 3, Ellie Bass. Number 8, Jalen Jewell. Number 17, Hannah Harrison. Number 25, Maddie Harvey. Number 46, Logan Bradish. And our lovely manager, Kyra Johnson. Our juniors, number 4, Lexi Pope. 15, Shannon Arnold. 7, Kylie Glover. 14, Leanne Marchant. Our sophomores, 21, Olivia Thomas. 29, Natalia Lane. And number 47, Dallas Calderon. The Lady Bucks are coached by Chris Marks and Samantha Moore.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for volleyball here in the Heartland. Lady Buffaloes and the Lady Warriors of Glenpool and McAlester getting ready to spear off here for the final regular season game for McAlester this calendar year. It's also the same for Glenpool as well. So both teams wrapping up their regular season here this evening. For Glenpool, mentioned they're going to be headed to their regional this weekend when they are heading to Cascia Hall. For McAlester, they don't know their regional opponent or assignment just yet. They will find that out later this week. That's only because Glenpool, they will be playing this weekend on Saturday. That is the 4A regional for volleyball. 3A, I believe, is also this weekend. 5A and 6A still do not know their regional assignments just yet. Still some things to sew up this week, and then we'll find out later on, and we'll let you guys know when the Lady Buffaloes will be playing and who they will be playing for regional next Monday. Once again, your starting lineups for the Lady Buffaloes. We have Jalen Muscato, Elena Christie, Ellie Bass, Hannah Harrison, Kylie Glover, and Lexi Peacoat. Those will be the 5 starters for the Lady Buffaloes. And then over on Glenpool, Cammie Brown, Tyra McKinney, Alyssa Shetty, Peyton Head, and then China Wells, if I had not said China Wells. And there's one more who I cannot see the number on. Oh, so that's Jaden Udahi. So those are the 6 starters on the side for Glenpool as we're ready to get things rolling. For both teams, mentioned both 2 games under 500, so whoever wins tonight, neither team will finish the regular season at or above the 500 mark. Both will either finish multiple games one will finish 1 game under, one will finish 3 game under. But at this point, both teams are going to a regional. Doesn't matter nearly as much. But we are just about ready to get underway from the left side of your screen. Here is service from Glenpool. Over to Maddie Harvey. Ellie Bass near the net. Up to Muscato, who rises up. A soft tapper almost leaks through the backside, but Glenpool returns it. Diving to save it is Glover. Up to Bass, and that's going to be a point for Glenpool to get things started here as they will lead it 1-0 in set number 1. And for those of you who may not know, it is a best of 5, so the first to win 3 sets. And if it goes all the way to that 5th set, each set is 25 to win, but the 5th set is 15. A great serve, almost an ace, but nice return that time by Glover. Back over, blocked at the net by, I believe that was Ellie Bass, but fell off her hands and out of bounds on the McAlester side, which means it's another point for Glenpool. So another service incoming here for the Warriors as they have an early 2-0 lead. Here's service once again from Peyton Head. Right towards the middle, going down to dig it out is Glover. Up to, I believe that was Elena Christie, who knocks it down for a kill. Gets the point back for McAlester. And the Buffs are now in business. They'll get a service back here. And heading back to serve is Ellie Bass. Bass mainly mans that front line near the net. And that's a good service. I believe it hit the line. It did. So that's a service ace. Another point for McAlester. And the first ace for either side in this one. That one goes to Ellie Bass. Bass once again on the service as it's even at 2. A good service to the libero on the side of the Warriors and a very strong kill opportunity that time, but Tyra McKinney hits it too hard on the near side of the McAlester out-of-bounds line, and it goes out. Another point for the Lady Buffaloes, who have now racked 3 straight as they lead it by 1. Another service from Bass. The setup for a kill. Man, nice job by Maddie Harvey. Hit right to her from Tyra McKinney. Moscato rises up. It's blocked at the net, but it's saved. Still in play. Bass up to Moscato once again. She'll knock it towards the back side, but it is knocked up. Sent over to an open spot, and Tyra McKinney, she's had her name all over this to start. She's got 2 of the 3 here for Glenpool, I believe. 3 all at the MAC. Service, believe that was for Kate Timmerman. Nice job by Harvey over to Bass. Glover will rise up. Far side, saved. The setup, kill at the net. Glover once again over to Bass. Bass the setup. Moscato will rise up, blocked, but falls down on the Glenpool side, which means that's a McAlester point. That one goes to Moscato. Service from Moscato now. Man, that's a good one. Almost hit the ground. Don't know how, but McKinney dug that out. And they return it over to Bass at the net. The setup. Moscato will rise up and send it through the backside. And Timmerman is not able to handle it. And Moscato grabs another point there off the kill. And the Lady Buffaloes go up by 2. 5-3, matching their largest lead so far here in set number 1. Good service by Moscato, almost out the backside. McKinney just barely gets her hands on it. Over to Timmerman. She'll send it over. Bass near the net. Pico with the 2-hand send. Back over to McKinney, going for the kill, and nice job by Harvey, and then back over to Moscato. Nice job to save what is just a very strong kill attempt by McKinney at the net. Harvey once again digging it out over to Pico. Actually, that's Bass. Check that to Moscato, who will just send it over. Back at the net, they're going for a setup, and it's blocked by Glover, then tipped back to her. Lady Buffaloes do get it over. At the net, McKinney sends it way out of the backside. She's got a lot of strength, kind of like Kylie Glover, just a little too much on it, though. If that can find some ground, very, very hard to return. So 6-3, largest lead of the night. Moscato back to serve once again. And that's long, just long out of the backside here on the left side of your screen. 6-4 now. The Warriors cut it to 2. Checking in is Alexis Giles now for the Glenpool Warriors. Glenpool down by 2. Here's the service by Giles. At the net, rising up, and that's Christie. And it cleared and went right down as it was blocked by a Warrior, but they didn't get it back over the net. So the Lady Buffaloes retie their largest lead, it back at 3 as it's 7-4. Service now for Maddie Harvey on the back right side. She'll send it over far side. At the net, rising up, McKinney once again sends it out of the backside. McKinney so far has been McAllister's best player. She scored 3 of the points for the Lady Buffaloes as it's 8-4. Harvey back again for what is now her second serve. At the net, set up for Wells, back to Harvey. Nice save by Harvey over to Bass to Moscato. It's a far send, not a lot of power on it with that spot that she was in on the floor. And that's knocked out of bounds by China Wells, and now McAlester takes an early 9-4 lead. And we've got an early timeout. One of the earlier timeouts I've seen here this season for either team. Lady Buffaloes lead it early by 5, 9-4 in set number 1. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching McAlester Lady Buffaloes Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Welcome back out of that short timeout. That was a Glenpool timeout. It goes over to McAlester now on the service. Once again, it's Maddie Harvey nursing a 5-point lead. It's a good serve back to Timmerman. Back towards the net, the setup for McKinney, and it's blocked at the net, and the Lady Buffaloes are not able to play it. Good effort, though, as, man, McKinney, it's a tall body with a lot of strength on that right hand. And I tell you, when she's able to get it in between the white lines, it's tough to return, as we saw there. So McKinney gets her 3rd point for Glenpool. Service from her. Moscato and Harvey, a miscommunication. Harvey laid out for it, thought she was getting it, and Moscato stuck her arms out. And when it made contact, it shot into the stands. So just a little bit of miscommunication there. So Glenpool, they get a point back. 2 back, actually. It's 9-6. A short serve. And whether or not that's what she meant to do, it worked out as Glover laid out for it. I think that ball actually bounced off her face, so hope she's all right. But that was a good effort. 9-7. Glenpool serve. Here's McKinney again. Over to Moscato. Ellie Bass. Moscato with the tip over. Or excuse me, that is Glover. Not quite clearing the net. It was tipped right back by a Warrior. And just like that, it's 9-8. A 4-0 run here by the Warriors to get back into it. McKinney taking her time. Here's her serve. And that's out of the back. 10-8. McAlester regains a multi-point lead as they're up by 2. They're also the first to double digits. More often than not in these sets that I've seen when McAlester, when they can get out to a solid start, when they're the first to hit double digits, they're normally in a good spot to win the set. That was a service by Picote, by the way. McKinney over to Harvey on the backside, and Bass runs over to it, sends it to Moscato, who will send it over, and not able to return it is Timmerman. So that's a kill for Jalen Moscato. Another one for her. So Lexi Picote once again on the service, her 2nd. Looks a little long, but McKinney hit it. I don't know if that would have stayed in or not, but either way, McKinney did McAlester a favor, was not able to return it, and Lexi gets another point there. That's actually her first, and that's a service ace. The 2nd one of the evening, other one going to Ellie Bass. Picote with another service right back to McKinney. At the net, the setup, the spike over to Harvey, and she's not able to play it off, and Glenpool gets a point back. That was thanks to Gentry Davis, number 8 for the Warriors. And China Wells will go back to serve now for Glenpool. 12-9, McAlester leads it by 3. Service over to Harvey, and it's misplayed off of her hands. Out of bounds, and Glenpool gets another point back. It's 12-10 now. China Wells back to serve one more time. That is a service ace as well. That is Wells' first. Actually, scratch that. I believe that's 2 in a row. Another service. Harvey plays that one better. Over to Bass. The setup to Glover. She'll rise, man, just out of the backside. I like the thought. There was an open spot there in the corner. Just a little too much on it, which results in the point for Glenpool. 12-11. It's a 1-point lead now for the Lady Buffaloes. They have not trailed since very early. And Maddie Harvey not able to get to it. Just kind of sleepwalking here in this first set at times. The Lady Buffaloes are. That's 3 aces just this go-round for China Wells. And it's 12 all. And we had to take a pause because a volleyball rolled into the court of play. And now we resume. 12 all. McAlester trying to regain the lead that they've held for the majority of the first set. And Ellie Bass tried to do that quick send over that more often than not fools the defense, but didn't quite clear the net that time. I don't hate the idea. Just got to have better execution next time, and that more than likely would have been a point for the Lady Buffaloes. 12-13 on the low side is McAlester. Another service from Wells. Maddie Harvey digs it out. Over to Moscato and Glover. Man, Lady Buffaloes are just out of sorts at the moment. And Chris Burns He's going to take a timeout for the Lady Buffaloes, and they're going to talk about it. It's been 5 straight points here for Glenpool. We'll take the timeout with them. We'll be right back. You're watching McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back out of that timeout. Glenpool on top, 14-12. They were down 9-12, but they ripped off 5 straight and make it 6. Again, not able to return the serve. That is the 4th ace from China Wells since she's been up to serve. So there's just some miscommunication over the middle between Harvey, sometimes Pico, and sometimes Moscato about who's going to dig that first serve out to try and get things set up for their offense. Here's another serve. That one to Pico. Over to Bass, and now we're underway. Moscato will rise up, and, man, a good return by McKinney on the kill opportunity. Back to Bass at the net. Rising up is Glover, the soft tapper. Over to Alexis Giles. Giles to the right side, near side, I should say. Clears the net over to Bass to Harvey. Glover will rise up. Nice save by Tyra McKinney for Glenpool. Rising up, sending it out of the backside. Nice save that time by Harvey. Over to Moscato, and Moscato little too low on the trajectory there, right into the net, and that's another point for Glenpool, who has ripped off 7 straight points. McAlester led 9-4 and then 12-9, and now it's 12-16 Glenpool. Service by Wells once again. She's been very busy. Harvey with a nice save. Glover with the fist. Man, she just punches it over from the near side to the far side. Very heads-up play that time. 13-16 as Kylie Glover now accounts for her first point of this first set. Lady Buffaloes do get it back, and with that, Glover, her first service. Over to McKinney. At the net, the setup, and it was poorly executed, and McAlester gets a point back. Trying to set up for the spike, and it didn't really look like Alyssa Shetty was prepared for that for Glenpool. So the Lady Buffaloes get a couple back, and they're only down 2 now. 14-16. Glover with the service over to McKinney. At the net, it's Giles. Doesn't clear the net again, twice in a row. And now Glover will go back for another service. And just like that, McAlester, they've ripped off 3 straight. Oh, no, they're going to say that's Glenpool's point. Is that right? Well, I'm not quite sure because the score on the board. There we go. Okay, it's 14-16. There we go. 14-17. Sometimes looking at the scoreboard can get you in trouble. So a service saved by Hannah Harrison over to Ellie Bass. Moscato rises and sends one down for the kill. Jalen Moscato, she says, I'll figure things out here and get us the ball back. As now it's 17-15 and it goes to Hannah Harrison for the service. Elena Christie back on the floor. Sitting down is Maddie Harvey. Service by Harrison. Right towards the middle to Timmerman. Near side, Giles. Out of the back, Glover has it over to Bass. Bass to Harrison. Trying to find the backside, but McKinney was waiting on her. At the net, the two-hand send back over to Harrison. Bass to Moscato. Now we've got a back and forth. It's blocked at the net on the kill opportunity, but falls just in front of Peacoat. And that's going to be a point for Glenpool as they go back up by 3. It's 15-18. Maddie Harvey checking back in for the Lady Buffaloes, checking in for Hannah Harrison. So service now for Giles. I beg your pardon, that's Peyton Head on service. That's over to Maddie Harvey. Bass knocks it over to Christie, who just sends it straight down. Not really a lot to that. She just jumped up, found the open spot, and Christie, her first points of the set. 16-18. Lady Buffs down by 2. Service from Ellie Bass. Over to McKinney. And, man, a good one-handed send. Caught McAlester by surprise. Very heads-up play I believe that was Jaden Udahi, but I'm not quite sure. It was either her or Cammie Brown. Either way, Lady Buffaloes trail it by 3, 16-19. Timmerman on the service, over to Moscato, to Bass, over to Christie, the left-hand send, nice save that time by Udahi. Timmerman will send it over, right to Moscato. Bass will set her up. Moscato rises up, and man, a nice save that time by the Warriors, and it's sent right down to the feet of Ellie Bass, and now that's 20 for Glenpool. McAlester led this at one point 9-4, since then being outscored 16-7. They also led 12-9, since then being outscored 11-4. Maddie Harvey over to Ellie Bass. Elena Christie, her shot is blocked at the net. The kill opportunity for McKinney, a soft tapper. Man, she is having her way here. Another point for McKinney, and it's 16-21. Lady Buffaloes started off so strong in this one, and now it's been all Glenpool really since both teams have hit double digits. Ellie Bass has it sent back over to her. It's over to Maddie Harvey, to Moscato. Moscato middle over to Timmerman. Far side kill attempt coming, and it's knocked out of the backside. China Wells is going to be credited with the kill there. That was off the hands of a couple of Lady Buffaloes who were not able to return it, who now trail it by 6 here in set number 1. 22-16. Timmerman with the serve. Glover digs it out. Christie, she'll rise up and she'll send it over for the kill. Get a point back for the Lady Buffaloes. That was on the near side. It was blocked kind of awkwardly off the net. Took a very, I think fortuitous is the word there, fortuitous bounce for the Lady Buffaloes as they got a point. Moscato's service, and man, that kill opportunity is blocked at the net by Elena Christie. Man, not a lot of people have been able to slow down Tyra McKinney tonight, but Christie just went up with both arms and she knocked it down. 18-22. Lady Buffaloes get 2 back. Another service by Moscato. Almost an ace, but it does clear the netting. Bass over to Glover, who will rise up and get the kill. Kylie Glover. Another set point for her. Lady Buffaloes have knocked in 3 straight now as they trail it 19-22. Still down by as many as they've scored in a row. And on that note, Jalen Moscato sends it out of the backside on the serve. And so it goes back over to Glenpool, who's 2 points away from a set 1 win. 23-19 is your score. Also, I know you can see it on the camera, but I'll just go ahead and describe. Glenpool wearing gray jerseys with blue sleeves, got some white striping on it as well, blue numbers, as Kylie Glover has it spiked into the netting. Another point, and now set point for Glenpool. Glenpool wearing blue numbers trimmed in white, McAlester wearing their home black with gold numbers trimmed in white. So set point coming here for Alexis Giles. The send over to Harvey. Near the net, it's Bass. Over to Glover. She'll rise up. Far side. Did it stay in? It did. Kylie Glover, as the Lady Buffaloes have the set point at their backs here as they trail it by 4. They get a point back. And now if they can control the service here, they can crawl back into this. They can get it to 24. They're in a good spot because it's win by 2 once you get near 25. Harvey on the service. Backside over to Head. Far side's going for the kill, and Jalen Moscato's not able to keep it in play as McKinney, she gets the set point, and the Lady Buffaloes fall in the first set, 25-20. We're going to go ahead and take a 1.5-minute break. We'll be right back as we get ready for set number 2 as the Lady Buffaloes already trail it 1-0. We'll be right back.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the MAC as we are ready just about for set number 2. Lady Buffaloes fell in that first set 25-20 to Glenpool, but for the Lady Buffaloes, had some bright spots. Ellie Bass, she had a service ace. Jayla Moscato had 4 kills. Elena Christie had 2. Lexi Picote had 1. Kylie Glover had a couple as well. But over on the Glenpool side, really it was China Wells and Tyra McKinney who took most of the props there. As China Wells, she had 4 aces in one go-round. That was all just in one service. And then, Tyra McKinney, she also had, I may have mistotaled here, but she had at least 5 kills in that first set of the 25. So nearly, if not double figures, came from 2 of the 6 players on the Glenpool side who started out behind. McAlester led 9-4 and then 12-9 and ended up falling by 5. So Glenpool really took over. But to start things out, Ellie Bass has a service ace in set number 2, her second of the evening. So McAlester starts out on top here, 1-0, but they also started out on top in set number 1. Here's Ellie Bass again, and that one goes right into the net, so that goes back over to Glenpool as we're all even at 1. It's essentially just 0-0 here. Service goes back to Timmerman now. Clears the net over to Harvey and misplayed on the serve. That's a problem we saw in set number 1, as that's now a lead for Glenpool here. That was a serve from Timmerman that time. There's just been a couple of times where that middle spot on the return has just been miscommunicated by the Lady Buffaloes, and it's resulted in some free points. And as soon as I say that, Timmerman, she serves it into the net, so it's a little bit of both sides kind of drinking the same Kool-Aid there. Start off with a point, and then you hit it into the net. So now Moscato. There's her serve. At the net, the setup for the kill. It's into the net. I don't even know if Christie blocked it. I think it was just hit straight into the net. Either way, the Lady Buffaloes got a point there. 3-2. So it goes back to Moscato. Her serve is dug out. At the net, the setup. The kill opportunity by McKinney goes out of the backside. I told you she's got a lot of power, but with that comes some long sends that go out of the backside. And McAlester, they're going to be the ones that get the payoff there as they go up by 2. 4-2, Moscato on the service. A free ball send. It's a soft one, but it falls down for a point for Glenpool. Sometimes those softer sends or those free balls are tougher to play and tougher to kind of dictate where they're going to go on the defensive side. And for the Lady Buffaloes, they've struggled with it at times tonight. Here's the 4-3 serve now from Glenpool. Ellie Bass over her head now to Elena Christie. I like the idea. A little bit of misdirection, but does not work out as Christie has a little too much steam on it. It's now 4-4. Things are worked even. Glenpool trying to take a commanding 2-set lead here. Service from Alexis Giles. It's a little strong, but that would have stayed in, so nice play by Moscato to knock it back. Glover, she'll get the kill. Oh, no. Oh, no, she did get the kill. One side signaled a point for Glenpool, the other for McAlester, but that is a McAlester point, as I thought. I think Glover also thought that she made a mistake there. Maybe she reached over too far, but I don't think they got her with it. But she found the open spot on the far side of Glenpool's side, and McAlester back on the high side now, 5-4. Service from Maddie Harvey now incoming. Harvey with the long serve over to Timmerman. Giles with the setup. The send over to Glover now. Ellie Bass has it. Peacoat. It's blocked at the net, so Glenpool, they get a point back. It's 5-5. A bit of back and forth here. Service for the Warriors, and it's Tyra McKinney for her serve. Kind of dominated the first set. Man, nice play by Glover. Looks like it kind of ate her up a little bit on the dig, but man, some miscommunication between Timmerman and McKinney ends up with McKinney sending it out of the backside. I think Timmerman wanted that ball, and McKinney just got a little bit overzealous that time, threw that right fist in there and sent it out of the back, which means McAlester gets the point back, and they go up by 1. 6-5. Lexi Peacoat on the serve. Back over to Timmerman now. Giles, the far side set up. Here's a free ball send over to McAlester. Ellie Bass to Moscato. She'll rise up and hits the net, but that ends up playing off in their favor as it falls short of McKinney and Moscato. That's her first point of the second set, and it's 7-5. Lexi Peacoat on the serve, but we have a stoppage in play. I think McKinney had some equipment issue, but she's fine, so it goes back to Peacoat now with the service. Back over to McKinney. The Giles, or two Giles, far side setup, and she's not able to play it correctly. That just looked like an awkward setup. And McAlester now up by 3 as it's 8-5. Almost an identical score at this time we saw back in set 1. Here's Peacoat on the serve. Over to McKinney once again. They're trying to get the setup, but they go to the back or the near side instead of the far side, and Jaden Udahi gets a point. Back for the Glenpool Warriors here. And it's 8-6. It's not been updated on the screen, but unless I missed something, I do believe it should be 8-6. Well, that's how we'll tally it until they change it. And man, not quite able to save that return. That ace. That is a service ace. And they did update it on the screen. Yeah, we knew what we were talking about. We were doing right. So 8-7 now. But Jaden Udahi gets another point. Her second of the second set here. The Lady Buffaloes lead it by 1. China Wells with the serve. Over to Moscato. Ellie Bass has it. Over to Glover. She'll rise up backside. Sends it hard, but a nice save that time. Dug out by the Warriors. And falling down is McKinney, who's trying to get up now. Glover, once again, here's the free ball send. Over to the Warriors. The kill opportunity with the left hand. Udahi. That's her third in a row. 8-8. We're all evened up here at the MAC as service goes back over to Wells. Middle side, Moscato. Over to Bass. Glover will rise up, knocks it straight into the net, and that's going to be a point for Glenpool. I'll tell you, though, Glover, I don't know if I've seen anybody else, maybe except for Tyra McKinney here for Glenpool, that has as much steam on their kills than Kylie Glover does. She puts everything she has into it. Service once again now from Wells. Over to Ellie Bass. Hannah Harrison will rise up. The kill opportunity is dug out. Over to Udahi, the free ball send back to McAlester. Maddie Harvey to Glover. She'll rise up. It's blocked at the net. She lays out but can't get to it. And now Glenpool has rattled off 5 straight. McAlester led it 8-5. It's now 10-8 Glenpool. And once again, it's China Wells manning that serve spot. That's really where things flipped for Glenpool in set one, because Wells had 4 aces, does not have any yet here. Nice job by Harvey over to Bass. Harrison, the two-hand free ball send is sent right back. Over to Harvey. She'll send it with 2 hands. McKinney, the setup. Udahi for the kill. And Harvey, man, almost wore that one off the face. Nice save. To Glover with the one-handed tapper at the net again. The soft send. Harvey lays out for it. Over to Bass. She'll set it up for Glover. And another nice save by the Warriors. At the net, it's blocked by the Lady Buffaloes. And Ellie Bass. Man, that was a long volley back and forth. But Ellie Bass with the block gets McAlester the point. And it's 9-10. And some energy is picked up here in the building a little bit after that. Lady Buffaloes trying to capture some momentum as they trail it by 1. 9-10, Glover with the service. Dug out now by McKinney. Over to Udahi, the left-hand spike, but it's out of the backside. That was long. I saw that pretty easily from here. And McAlester has tied it up. 10-10. So Glenpool, they ripped off 5 straight to make it 10-8. Now McAlester, they've scored 2 in a row of their own. Glover for the service here. A strong serve back over to McKinney. Over to Giles now. The free ball sent to McAlester. Bass has it over to Harvey. Moscato, she'll rise up. Too much on it. Trying to go for the backside find on the kill. And it's a bit strong. 11-10 now. Jaden Adahi back to serve now. She's already scored a couple of points here in this set. Peacoat trying to return the serve over to Bass, who lays out for it. And it's going to end up being a point for Glenpool. Believe it was tapped too many times. So Glenpool, they get the point there. Go back up by 1. It's 11-10. Excuse me, 12-11 to 10. I'm all over the place. Service by Udahi. Another strong serve. Lexi Peacoat and Kylie Glover, some miscommunication. Peacoat ducked at the last second, and I don't think Glover expected that. She tried to react, but wasn't quite quick enough. It's 13-10. 3 straight in a row now for Glenpool. Service by Udahi. Another good one, and that's another ace. 2 aces in a row for Udahi. 14-10 now. We'll see if the Lady Buffaloes can game plan around this, see if they can figure something out. Looks like they switched up their positioning just a little bit. Udahi on the serve. Going to the far side. Nice play by Glover. Over to Bass. Moscato with the free ball send. Back over. And Harvey, man, saved a ball that looked like it might have been going out. And Hannah Harrison just trying to do what she can from the far out of bounds side, but it's another point for Glenpool there. 10-15. 5 straight once again for Glenpool. That's the second time they've scored 5 unanswered against McAlester this set. Udahi with service once again. And she serves it into the net. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky. And the Lady Buffaloes, they'll get service back here after that. Maddie Harvey will sit down for Elena Christie. McAlester, they trail by 4. Giles for the kill. It's dug out by Glover. Bass to Moscato, who will rise up, and the kill for Jalen Moscato. Just her second point of the set here. It's 12-15. Lady Buffaloes down by 3. Hannah Harrison once again with the service. Not a very strong one. Back over to the net, and that's blocked, but it's a good bounce for Alyssa Shetty and Glenpool as they get the point there. It's blocked at the net, but falls on the McAlester side. So it's 12-16. Glenpool on top by 4. Lady Buffaloes, it's just here in the first 2 sets, they've hung around. They've even led for periods of it, but it just seems like Glenpool always has a run in them to end up taking the lead. And I mean, it's only the second set. We'll see how things play out through the rest of this and into set number 3. But McKinney, man, that was a moonshot. Way out of bounds, and it's still in the bleachers. So McAlester gets a point back, 13-16. Service from Bass far side. Over to McKinney. She'll rise up and send it out of the back again. Sometimes your best offense is defense. And I think we've got a timeout. And we've got a timeout taken by Glenpool as McAlester trails it 14-16 in set number 2. We'll be right back. You're watching McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back from that timeout. Service for McAlester and Ellie Bass right into the hands of McKinney. And she'll send it from pretty deep back. And the Lady Buffaloes, just an unfortunate bounce off the hands once again. And McKinney with another point. She's had her name all over these sets so far. 17-14, and it goes back to Kate Timmerman for the service for Glenpool as they lead it by 3 in set 2. Glover digs it out over to Bass at the net. The setup to Moscato. It's blocked at the net, but, man, dug out on the diving opportunity there by Glenpool. The free ball from Glenpool over to McAlester. Maddie Harvey to Moscato. The free ball back once again. Glover, Moscato, the setup now for Bass, and she'll send it far side. Back near side now, and very awkwardly played by Glenpool, but they do just get it over. Ellie Bass over to Christie, the left-handed send. This is a pretty good volley back and forth here. McKinney over to Harvey. At the net, and man, Ellie Bass, it looked like we might have had a player collision at the net. Yeah, Ellie Bass and I think China Wells ran into each other. And China Wells is down holding her right ankle. Hope that she's all right. They're going to look at her a little bit. And while they do that, I think we're going to go ahead and take a 30-second break. So we'll be right back in set number 2 here. Glenpool leads McAlester 18-14.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from that timeout break. And China Wells, she is over on the bench now. Hope she's okay. We went back and looked, and it just looked like incidental contact. I believe it was her and Elena Christie at the net. Wells went up for that for that return, and when she came down, it looked like she landed on Christie's foot, and I think her ankle turned. So, again, she did walk off, not completely under her own power, but she seems to be all right. Hopefully it's just a minor ankle thing, and she's able to get back out there a little bit later. If you're McAlester, though, one of the better players for Glenpool just left the floor, so this is something you can take advantage of. So here's Timmerman on the serve, and Harvey's return is saved by Ellie Bass, but Atlanta Christie knocks it right back into the net. So 14-19, Glenpool on top here in set number 2. McAlester trying not to fall behind and take the difficult route to a win tonight. Harvey digs out that serve, and laying out for it is Ellie Bass. And man, I believe that was Glover for the kill. But again, just some disorganization there on the return. The Lady Buffaloes, it seems like they've struggled a little bit tonight on some serves. Speaking of serves, there's one from Moscato. McKinney, she'll rise up for the kill. It's blocked at the net by Christie, but takes an unlucky bounce and falls down for a point here for Glenpool. So 19-15 is the score. 20-15 is the score. Updated as soon as I got done saying that. McAlester down by 5. Service from Alexis Giles over to Harvey. Over to Bass near the net. Glover with the left-handed punch. Just barely clearing the net there. Timmerman, the setup to Udahi. Man, right at Harvey with a lot of steam on it. That's a really hard play to make. And it results in a point for Glenpool off the kill. 21-14. Hannah Harrison, she'll come and check in for Maddie Harvey. So serve for Giles once again, trying to keep Glenpool up here as they lead it by 6. Bass over to Glover. She'll rise and hits a couple of Glenpool players, and then it hit McKinney in the head. And that's a McAlester point. So nice job by Glover. She'll get another point here in the set. Trying to crawl their way back in as it's 21-16. So Maddie Harvey back for the serve. Near side, and that's going to be a service ace as Tyra McKinney not able to get it back, and for Maddie Harvey, that's her first ace of the evening. Down by 4 now is McAlester, 17-21. Serve to Timmerman. Over to McKinney for the kill. And man, McKinney, she's been an unstoppable force this evening. So 17-22, Glenpool with the serve. Over to Bass. Kylie Glover trying to find that backside corner. Too strong. And now Glenpool's just 2 points away from a set 2 win, which would put them in a commanding 2-0 sets-to-none lead, with just needing one more to win. Moscato with a nice dig over to Ellie Bass. Glover tried to put everything on it, but too strong. Oh no, McAlester gets the point. I believe Glenpool.
It's a touch.
So it's a touch against Glenpool. So McAlester gets the point back there. It's 23-18. So Lexi Peacoat on the service. Over to Timmerman. To Giles near the net. The setup to McKinney. Going for the kill. Too strong. And that's Udahe. I beg your pardon. So McAlester gets a couple points back. Trying to make this one more interesting as they trail it by 4. 19-23. Lexi Peacoat once again on the service. It's a good one right over to Giles. The setup, the send to Harvey, who's in the right place at the right time. Bass to Moscato for the kill, and it's misplayed. Moscato didn't have a lot of strength on it, but hit it right into the perfect spot, and it was misplayed by the Warriors. We've got another timeout taken by Glenpool. McAlester trails it, but making a rally here in set number 2. They trail it 20-23. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Welcome back out of that timeout from Glenpool. Lexi Pico with another serve. Looks a little strong, but Timmerman with the hit that might have been out of bounds, but doesn't matter. McAlester gets the point back as Lexi Pico with an ace. 21-23, and McAlester believe they've scored 2 straight as they trail it by 2. 21-23 here in set 2. Alexis Giles, the setup, and it's blocked at the net from Davis. Back over to McKinney. The setup to Dahe for the kill. And that stays in for a Glenpool point. Man, just a couple inches away from being out of bounds. It's 21-24 now. So now we're to set point as Kinley Kirk. She'll check in for her first action for Glenpool, and she'll come in for service. It's a soft serve, and Glover lays out for it, and Peacoat saves it. The free ball from Moscato, and McAlester gets a point back. 22-24. Jalen Moscato with the heads-up play from what was almost disaster for Glenpool winning the second set. Just great efforts output there by the Lady Buffaloes, and then Moscato with the point to bring McAlester back within 2. Service from Kylie Glover, and a misplay, and I don't think Glenpool's going to return it. All the way out into the home side benches, the stands. And it's a 1-point game here in set 2. 23-24. Lady Buffaloes trail it. They tie it up here. It's now win by 2. But they got to get a point here or they fall. Still set point. Service from Glover. Off of Timmerman's hands. Backside, and the Lady Buffaloes have tied it up. That is another ace. Kylie Glover bringing the Buffaloes back here. 24 all. Now it's the first to go up by 2 to win the set. Glover on the serve. Out of bounds. Man, I don't know if there's one game that can, just of any sport, that can switch so quickly like volleyball can. I know basketball's up there pretty quick because it's very fast-paced. But, man, I don't know if it switches quicker than volleyball can. 24-25, set point. It's off the hands of Maddie Harvey, and Glenpool goes up 2-0 after the 26-24 set win. We'll go ahead and we'll take a 1.5-minute break. We'll come back, get you set for set number 3 as the Lady Buffaloes now have their backs against the wall to Glenpool. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to set number 3 live from the MAC here in McAlester. Lady Buffaloes, although trail it to Glenpool 2-0. So if Glenpool can pull out this set, they will end up winning the match. And Peacoat sends that too strong out of the backside, and Glenpool starts out up 1. But one thing I will point out, the first 2 sets, McAlester started up first, 1-0, and they lost both of those sets. So if history repeats itself, maybe McAlester can win this set. As soon as I say that, Peyton Head, with her service for Glenpool, sends it right into the netting. So it's now 1-1. Service now for Ellie Bass. McAlester with the service ace. Ellie Bass with another one, her 3rd service ace today. She has put her mark on every single set thus far tonight. Lady Buffaloes back on top, 2-1. Bass with the serve. Just barely returned out of the backside that time by Head. The kill by McKinney, falling down, saves it. Harvey and Glover, and then Pico with the free ball. Man, it clears. And then Christie sends it down for a kill. Man, oh man, the effort from Glover and Harvey. You can't say they don't want it. They very obviously do. Lady Buffaloes giving all their effort here as they lead it 3-1, and Ellie Bass almost with the service ace, and she gets it. Tammy Brown, the last line of defense, not able to knock it over the netting. So back to Bass. She's got 2 aces so far. Make it 3. Ellie Bass with her 3rd ace here in set number 3. Give her 5 on the evening up to this point. 5-1. Lady Buffaloes coming out strong here in the 3rd set. Ellie Bass, another serve. Saved by Head into the netting. That is another ace. Ellie Bass with 4 service aces to start things out, and Glenpool wants to take a timeout to talk about it. Lady Buffaloes lead at 6-1 in set number 3. We'll be right back.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday.
Welcome back from a shortened break. Ellie Bass back to serve, man. Inches away from another service ace, but hard to be upset about that when you rip off 4 aces in continuation of each other. She's got 6 on the evening. McAlester, they lead it 6-2 here in set 3 as they trail it 2-0 to Glenpool. Ellie Bass saves it from being out of bounds. The free ball from Harvey back over to Glenpool, and a free ball right back. At the netting, it's Bass. The setup, Christie. She'll send it backside and saved by Timmerman. What a save by Glenpool. And Maddie Harvey, Kylie Glover, I think that ball was going out of bounds, but Glover laid out for it and got a hand on it, and Glenpool gets a point back. 6-3. Service from Timmerman again into the netting. Lady Buffaloes in a good spot to start set number 3 here. 7-3 is the score. Moscato with the service. Over to Head. The setup from Udahi to McKinney, and we've got a touch and a point for Glenpool. That is a kill for McKinney. And Alexis Giles will check back in. Man, it's so hard to see the numbers on these Glenpool jerseys. I believe that was Cammie Brown who just sat down. Giles on the service. Over to Maddie Harvey. Ellie Bass over to Glover. Glover, far side, out of bounds. McAlester, they led it 6-1. Glenpool now trails it 7-5. A 4-1 run for the Lady Warriors. Service goes back again to Alexis Giles from left to right. Harvey laying out for it, and man, laid it up on a platter as McKinney just rose up and sent it straight down. Another kill there for McKinney, who, as I mentioned, has just had a very dominant night up to this point. 7-6 now, Glenpool down by 1. They trailed by as many as 5. A soft serve over to Elena Christie. Kylie Glover with the hard send. Back over to Glenpool. Udahi with the kill, blocked at the net, but no one there to save or knock over the return. And it's now 7-all. A 6-1 run here by the Lady Warriors as we're all evened up at 7. Service once again from Glenpool. That's a service ace by Alexis Giles. Believe that's her first. And just like that, McAlester, they trail it by 1 after leading by 5. It was 6-1, now 8-7. And one thing I said a set ago, Glenpool, they just seem to always have that one little run in them to either even it up or take the lead. They've done it every set so far. Timmerman, the setup to Udahi, the rise, and the send, the kill as well, as that's another point for Udahi and the Warriors. Udahi on her own has a couple of aces so far tonight. That was back in set number 2. 7-9 is the score. McAlester down 2. Christie with the kill, and McAlester gets a point back. Alexis Giles not able to return it. For Elena Christie, not as loud as of a night, just point production-wise, but she gets her name back in the book for another set here. 9-8 is the score. McAlester on the low side. Maddie Harvey on the service. It's over to Peyton Head. The setup for McKinney, and her her kill is blocked by Glover, but it falls on the McAlester side right after. So Glenpool gets another point. 8-10. So service for Tyra McKinney on the back left side here. Over to Glover. Glover to Bass. The setup for Moscato. The kill for Moscato right in front of McKinney on the back side row. And Moscato with another point off the kill there. It's 10-9. Lexi Peacoat on the service again. Over to Timmerman. To McKinney. And then Giles with the free ball. Glover at the net. Her kill is blocked. Over to Bass, and Bass with the free ball. Nobody was paying attention. The two-hand send, very sneaky from Ellie Bass, as she now has her 5th point of the set. Remember, she opened things up with 4 aces. Lexi Peacoat again on the serve. Over to Timmerman. Over to Giles, far side. Her kill is blocked, and Glover saves it. Over to Bass. Bass to Harrison, the send. It's saved by Giles, and nobody was there to play it off the tip from Giles. McAlester gets a point back. It's 11-10. Service from Lexi Peacoat now. Lady Buffalo's up by 1, and that's a service ace. Lexi Peacoat, her 2nd ace of the evening. Had an ace back in the 2nd set. Make it 2 sets out of 3 now. She's gotten 1. Lady Buffaloes lead it by 2. It's 12-10. Peacoat on the service. Looks strong, and it is. And Glenpool, they get a point back. It's 12-11 now. Both sets so far have been decided by 5 points or less, so each one of them has been close. First serve of the night here for Cheyenne Andrews for Glenpool. And Glover, man, trying to rise up. I think she slipped. Because when she hit it, it went right into the net, but she had like no carry. I just think she slipped when she went up. She's kind of joking about it with Coach Chris Burns, who, as it was pointed out to me, said multiple times that this is a game they've had circled on their calendar this season. They really want to win this one, and Moscato trying to help him out in that department, but man, Glenpool, what a save to keep things rolling here. And Glover will rise up, and the block at the net is Udahe. Man, what a turn of events there. It looked like Moscato had set them up in a great spot to get a point, but a couple of nice plays on the free ball back from Glenpool, and then Glover, her kill was blocked at the net. So Glenpool, they go back on top. They've scored 3 in a row. Make it 4, as that's a service ace. First one for Cheyenne Andrews. Service again from Glenpool. Peacoat over to Bass. Some misplaying, but Harvey just barely sends it over. The smart play there. Udahe will rise up, and she'll send one down for another kill. Udahe, man, that left hand has been untouchable this evening. 15-12. Lady Buffalo's on the low side, but they've led in every set so far. Glenpool is just a very stingy team, not going away. Andrews on the service to Maddie Harvey, and Ellie Bass trying to do the free ball quick send, but Glenpool was prepared for it. Hannah Harrison with the free ball, the soft tapper over the top of the 2 frontline defenders. Hannah Harrison putting her name in the book here for set number 3. That is her 2nd point tonight. 15-12. As Kylie Glover goes back for the service here, Lady Buffalo's down by 3. A good serve over to McKinney. The setup for Udahe from Giles, and they just don't have an answer for Giles. Service now over to McAlester. Ellie Bass, the setup for Moscato. Backside, too strong. There was a whistle for clarification, but that does go to Glenpool. Moscato hits it out of the backside. Service now from Glenpool. I believe that was Udahe. Moscato tries to go for the far side, but a nice play by Glenpool. McKinney for the kill. Peacoat with the save over to Bass. At the net, it's Moscato. She'll rise up, and that's knocked out of the backside off of a Warrior. So Moscato gets another point. She's just tallying them up tonight. That is her 10th point tonight. Hannah Harrison on the service here. Lady Buffaloes down by 3. Far side, the setup by Brown. And the send at the net. Man, just a soft tapper there, but Lady Buffaloes were not able to play it. 14-18. And Glenpool, right now, they're in the driver's seat, up 2-0, leading at 18-14 in set 3. If Glenpool wins this set, it's a clean 3-sweep set. And again, this is technically senior night. It's the last home game and the last game on the regular season schedule. And that is hit right into the net that time by Peyton Head. So now Ellie Bass, she's back to serve. Too strong. (15-19) is the score. Lady Buffaloes down by 4 here in set 3. They're going to need to put some things together here to pull out a win tonight. Ellie Bass over to Maddie Harvey, the free ball over to Glenpool. Timmerman to McKinney, the rise up, and it's blocked at the net, but rolls into an open spot on the floor on McAllister's side. Glenpool now hits 20 as they go up by 5. 15-20. Kate Timmerman back to serve on the left side of your screen. Not a very hard serve. Over to Glover. The bat to Bass over to Christie. And Glenpool with the return here. The free ball over to McAlester. Ellie Bass to Maddie Harvey. Harvey to Pico. And misplayed by Glenpool. Just some indecision on what they wanted to do there, and the ball just fell right in front of, looked like Cammie Brown. And it's back to Jalen Moscato now, who does not have an ace tonight. McKinney. Man, Moscato saves that with the one hand after almost going out of bounds. The Warriors over to Cammie Brown, who sends it right into the net. And McAlester, just like that, gets 2 points back. It's 20-17. Service from Moscato. Over to McKinney. Udahe at the net. It clears over, and Christie tried to kill it. Had too much on it. 21-17. Alexis Giles will check back in for Cammie Brown. And Giles on the serve here, as they're 4 points away from a match victory. Maddie Harvey digs it out, and Moscato on the save, and man, Kylie Glover was the only one aware of what was happening there, but they do return it. Maddie Harvey with the free ball. Udahe going for the kill. Over to Ellie Bass. Maddie Harvey to Peacock, I beg your pardon. Glenpool, Udahe, the kill blocked at the net by Christie, and the return blocked again by Christie, and Glenpool not able to get it over the net. Christie all over the place, playing a little Dikembe Mutombo. She said, not in my house, as she sent them both back. 18-21. Lady Buffaloes now on a 3-1 run as they trail it by 3. 18-21 here on the final home game of the regular season. Maddie Harvey. Here's her service from the right side. Kate Timmerman on the dig out over to McKinney for the kill. She'll send it straight down for another point. McKinney has been untouchable. Don't know how many times I've said that. I'm probably getting repetitive here, but she's been untouchable tonight. Gentry Davis will check back in. She'll sit down Peyton Head. Service from Glenpool too strong out of the backside. McAlester still in it, down by 3. They've not been out of any of these sets. I told you each one has been separated by 5 points or less. They lost set 1 25-20 and lost set number 2 26-24. Service from Lexi Peacoat. Over to Kate Timmerman. Giles. It's blocked at the net by McAlester, but the Warriors get it back. The kill blocked at the net twice that time. Gentry Davis not able to clear the net, and McAlester now down by 2. It's 22-20. Peacoat on the service again, over to Kate Timmerman. Giles Over to Udahe, down to Moscato, had the wherewithal on the return there, and Glover misplayed on the return. No Buffalo was there on the free ball, and Glenpool gets another point. It's 23-20. Service from Cheyenne Andrews out of the backside, and this just keeps going back and forth. Glenpool doesn't quite look like they're trying to close things out just yet. They're keeping McAlester in it. Let's see if the Lady Buffaloes can capitalize. Kylie Glover with the quick serve. Udahe with the rise up at the net, off of the hands of Glover out of the backside. And it's now match point and game point. Reminder, Glenpool currently leads at 2-0. It's a best of 5, so the first to win 3 sets wins. So this is set and match point here. 24-21. Service coming for Jaden Udahe for Glenpool. The service over to Kylie Glover. Ellie Bass has it over to Hannah Harrison. The free ball over to Glenpool now. McKinney at the net to Udahe. The send out of the way of Glover, and Glenpool, they'll walk away with a 3-0 win for the final game of the regular season for both teams. We'll go ahead and take our final break of the evening. We'll come back, recap, and then we'll get you out of here. Thanks for tuning in this evening for McAlester Volleyball on the McAlester Radio YouTube page. We'll be right back.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula, and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to the MAC, ladies and gentlemen, as this one has officially gone final. The Lady Buffaloes fall 3-0 to Glenpool here, as Glenpool won set 1 25-20, set 2 26-24, and set 3 25-21. For the Lady Buffaloes, they will finish the regular season at 16-19. For Glenpool, they will finish their regular season at 15-16. And for both teams, season is not done. Both teams have regionals coming up, and for Glenpool, things are a little bit more clear. They'll be going to Cassia Hall this weekend with Oologah, Locust Grove, and themselves, along with Cassia Hall. For McAlester, they will be playing on Monday. We don't know who their regional opponent will be yet, but we will find that out later this week. But unfortunately, I don't believe we'll be carrying any of the playoffs. We don't know quite yet. That could change, and obviously, if it does change, you guys will know. You can follow us on our Facebook page, McAlester Radio, and we'll be able to let you know there, and our Twitter as well on Max Sports. Is it Max Sports Radio? Buff Sports Radio. I've only been here for about 2 months. I don't work the Twitter as much, so give me a break here, ladies and gentlemen. But as I mentioned, for all that, if we don't do any of the playoffs, our softball and volleyball coverage has come to a close this season. Want to thank our sponsors, McAlester Clothing Consignment, Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, and Consignment Exchange. Speaking of Consignment Exchange, did you know they have new mattresses? I know you mainly know them as a place of quality pre-owned furniture, which is true, but they also have new mattresses. It's important for you to know that because they are hundreds of dollars less than retail, because they are name brands that are factory closeouts and discontinued covers, plus other factors. They don't advertise the brands and sell them as is. For those reasons, you can buy a high-end name in brand mattress and keep money in your pocket. Come try one out today. McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South. Thank you, everybody, for joining in with us for our coverage of volleyball this season. And once again, the Lady Buffalo season is not over as they have regionals coming up next Monday. Well, that'll do it for us on this Monday and for the rest of the week until Friday when McAlester heads to Tulsa East Central on Friday for a 7 o'clock kick. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good